US, if they are not having the trilateral talks, you think we are the sufferers? The Americans need your intelligence cooperation, they need your land route, NATO's land routes, they need your military cooperation, you call that off. What amazes me is why we are so passive, and it's not just with the Americans. Look at the way we behaved in the Rahat Fateh Ali case with the Indians. Oh, no. Our High Commissioner in Delhi says, who by the way is related to our head of the planning commission, so there's a strange dubious connection there. Anyhow, he says, oh, we shouldn't let one incident spoil the relations. Why were you not assertive? We have had Indian stars in Lahore dancing away at the Fairs Mela. Maybe we could have taken the tit for tat and questioned them.
How fair would that have been? No, I think that's unrealistic.
He was handed money by his Indian manager. It was not his fault. Anyhow, what I'm saying is, we are very passive.
But I don't agree with you about picking up the Indians here in Pakistan. I think that would have been a little...
Time comes for tit for tat.
Okay, but I won't take it that far.
But the point is that this is an opportunity. If they want to break off, I think it's a very healthy sign that President Mazari is not going to the US, because every time he goes, new concessions are made. So it's a good thing that his visit has been postponed.
Has it been postponed? Has President Mazari's visit been postponed?
Not yet.
Not yet. It hasn't been officially.
There's a vagueness about it. I hope it is postponed and called.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, this is the chance we need to reevaluate our whole gamut of relations with the US, because if we are supposed to be the so-called strategic ally, then on a murderer, the whole relationship from the American side is going to go kaput. If this is the basis, if this is the strength of your relationship with the Americans, better say goodbye now and reformulate your policies. Cutting off of aid, about time we stood on our own feet. If it is being forced on us, take this as an opportunity. I don't look at it fearfully. I feel if the Americans are putting that pressure, you have a window. The Americans need you right now in Afghanistan. You can also stand your ground as you did when the oil tankers were stopped.
Yes.
You say, okay, we are stopping all cooperation, intelligence sharing. All the Americans, barring actual diplomats, we want them to go back, send them back, because they're a security threat. There are many other Raymond Davises roaming around. Use this opportunity and do things that you wanted to do, which you were not able to do.
Okay, very importantly,
So
but I'm going to take a short break here.
I don't see it as a threat or fear that the Americans are threatening
Dr.
us.
Mazari doesn't see it as a threat or a fear. She says there should be no concern. We're going to take a short break. When we return, I will go to Senator Durrani and ask him how he thinks this is going to impact Pakistan's relationship with the United States and vice versa. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Witness. Senator Durrani, you heard Dr. Mazari's impassioned defense that Pakistan should take this opportunity now to get rid of our reliance on American assistance once and for all, and that they need us more than we need them. I would like to, of course, before I let you respond to that, remind you that when NATO aircraft bombed Pakistani territory and killed 3 of our frontier constabulary people, Pakistan took action and took it fast. What's gone wrong this time?
Actually, this trilateral dialogue is the requirement of Americans more than Pakistan.
Exactly.
And this is very clear. And if they think it's not important for them, it shouldn't be any problem for Pakistan, other than one, the aid. And I think as far as the people of Pakistan are concerned, they are not getting anything out of the aid we receive from Americans. That aid goes to our leaders. I think, but there will be one problem, that all our leaders, whether in government or in opposition, they are having their properties in West. They have their investments over there.
That's an interesting angle.
So I think that the problem is not outside, problem is then again inside our country, where the decisions are being made. That the people who are sitting to take decisions, whether in opposition, whether in government, they'll be thinking of their properties. So it's the high time that nation should demand their leaders that bring their Pakistan is going to stay, inshallah, and Pakistan will be Pakistan, inshallah, onward. And our leaders should have this trust in the country. And if they really want to do something radical, this is the time that they should announce that all our properties, whether white or black, we will let them consider white. they will be brought back and they'll be brought back to Pakistan. We are
Well, the
bringing-
proceeds, I mean, you can't bring the profits
Yes,
back.
yes, and also
So
their
the bank
accounts,
they can bring
their
the money
bank
back.
accounts, their money back to Pakistan. Then definitely we'll be in our position to take stance as Dr. Sabha is saying.
Otherwise, we can't.
Otherwise, we can't because those who are going to take decision, they don't have legs.
So the
Their
country can
families
take the
are
stand,
there,
but the leaders
and
can't
this
take the
this should
stand.
be the demand from our people. This should be the demand from our politicians. This should be the demand from the parliament that anybody who wants to qualify himself for the leadership of Pakistan, he should not have any property outside Pakistan,
Movable
so that
or
he should
immovable.
don't have any strings. If the family treatment,
Your
is
party leadership has property overseas.
no
right?
problem.
And they are overseas.
No, does your party leadership have properties
If
overseas?
they have, I
It's
have
a
the same.
neo-impure
So
now.
same
I
as
have
you
the
had
same
done.
for them.
Okay,
And
same.
it's my demand from them and anybody who is in
Dr.
the
Alamgir.
lead of leadership.
Well, I would like to say that we should not oppose just everything just for the sake of opposition. The problem is that when we are in government, our priorities are different, and when we go to the opposition, our priorities are different. I think we should be our views should be one. We should, what I think, we should have democracy in this country. Because the best judge, I don't believe in this NAB and these things. The best judge is the public. Let the public decide. When there are repeated elections, I think our system will filter.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Abab.
We want to stand on. We want to stand our ground. We want to live with honor and dignity.
Okay, but
And everybody should be one on this issue. This is our country, and the problems are because of us. I think
Dr.
because
Abab,
of
do
us.
you think Pakistan
Now
can
it's time.
survive without American assistance, financial assistance?
Yes, of course. Yes. We will have to find ways and means.
What do you think of Senator Durrani's idea that all political leaders, his own included, he says, should be asked to bring their movable and immovable assets to Pakistan?
Yes, I totally agree. Yes, this is our country, and we live here and die here. And yes, of course, this is not for a single party. If anybody has assets outside, they should bring it.
Okay.
To the
One of
country.
the criticisms of the government right now is that the stand that the Pakistan government has taken that the matter is in the courts and let the courts decide. One of the criticisms on that position has been that the government is absolving itself of responsibility by passing it on first to the Punjab government, then on to the Foreign Office, and now on to the courts. And that the government itself has convened the round table to share the responsibility of what a decision is taken. How do you think that the government could have been more aggressive about this from the beginning?
Look. I think this is not a political issue. It's a national issue. It's a sensitive issue. It's a very important issue, and we must take all the leadership of this country into confidence, and everybody should share responsibility. This is what I feel.
Why should the opposition parties share responsibility when it's the
Why not? It's not only the Pakistan People's Party that is responsible for everything. Yes, it's our government. It's our responsibility. But all the leadership, whether they are in opposition, whether they are in the parliament, or whether they are outside the parliament, this is our country. All of us must sit together and solve these issues.
Okay, Dr. Mazari, I'm just going to skip you here and quickly jump to Senator Durrani here because your party, of course, is in Parliament. Dr. Mazari's is not. When this roundtable is convened, what will your party be recommending or advising the government to do on the Raymond Davis issue?
Really, I don't know that what will be the stance of my party because we don't have a fashion of having large consultation. But anyway, I think they should be saying what the public demand is, and that will be like that. But at this point of time, I'd like to add one thing, as Dr. Sab said, that we are going to people, and the people sitting in the parliament, and they are from the public. I know, everybody knows, but there is another. Parliament is the ultimate representative of people of Pakistan, and it's everywhere so. But if the parliament is not acting, or the performance of parliament is not really justifying their position, then there is another parliament that is on streets. And now that fashion is also there. So if we'll not really respect, if we'll tell people, if there's a poverty in the country, we don't matter, we have been elected. If the people are dying of hunger, we don't mind that because we have been elected, and we'll be going to them after 5 years, no problem. But This is our country, and it's our responsibility.
But why are we so impatient? Why aren't we giving the People's Party its full 5 years?
I'm ready to give them, even if they get re-elected again, that's no problem. But the problem is this, that what about the people? Do you want to see them on roads rather than the parliament representatives sitting in the parliament? Because today the parliament is really a debating club. And when we go there, we say everything, but we don't see anything.
Okay, Dr.
Whatever
Mazari,
is.
There it's not
Dr. Mazari, just a question also, of course, is that in many ways your party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, represents the street masses, because the PTI probably has the largest number of protests amongst the secular parties. What, if we were to say, is the People's Parliament, what is the mood on the streets? And do you think that that should be a factor in the government
I can
decision?
tell you, our party is under great pressure from our ordinary members, especially the youth, and we have an increasing youth following that we need to come out on the streets. We need to come, especially after the Egyptian and the Tunisian examples, and our party has come on the streets on the Raymond Davis.
Is this issue going to polarize the country?
The Raymond Davis issue? I think it will polarize. It will not polarize, except for the few leadership and a few westernized elites. By and large, this is a binding issue. Everybody feels strongly on it. And I want to add one thing here. You know, we've been talking about the federal government and its failings and lack of, you know, what the Fawzia Wahab drama today, which was ridiculous. But what about the Punjab government? I mean, why is it treating Mr. Davis as royalty when he's a murderer? Why are the Americans being
Accused murderer. I have to try and keep it
No, but he
legal.
did shoot the people in
He
front
shot
of
the people.
everybody.
He
So
shot the
it's
people.
not that it was in the dark. He's not a suspect.
He's
he
not a
is
suspect,
murderer.
yeah.
It's just a matter of this
Degree of murder.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, why is the Punjab government not demanding and getting hold of the other person who committed the third murder?
Because the PML government
But-
is not here to defend itself. I
Okay,
have
let
read in
me-
the papers that they have, the police, CCPO has said that
Yes,
they have made repeated
but
requests
okay,
to the US
but
Embassy.
what is also I find a bit shameful is the way the American council, American diplomats and others, we don't know if they're diplomats or secret service people, they're going in without being checked into Court Lakhpat. There was a meeting that began at 6 o'clock with Raymond Davis. Until I came for this program, it was still in session. Nobody should be, a murderer is not allowed such access. I think that there is something inherently disgraceful and disturbing in the way that we are going out of our way to treat him like royalty when he should be treated like an ordinary murderer.
Dr. Arbab?
Yes, I agree. I agree. He's a murderer, and he should be treated like a murderer. But all, you know, this is I think this is very unfair. He's being treated like a murderer, I think. You know, the case, I'll say that we have already gone to the court. The case is in the court, and let the court decide.
No, but look at the
When is it
facilities.
court
Why we are
Look
not
at the
giving any
facilities.
facilities? I don't think by these sort of discussions we are influencing the court, which is very wrong.
Access,
Influencing the court,
unlimited access, which how many murderers are allowed that in our jails? And you're giving him internet, the sort of facilities, the rooms you're giving him. Come on. Who has allowed these sort of, name me which other murderers are allowed these facilities?
I have no
I
idea.
think that
Senator.
both People's Party and PML and governments, they'll be behaving in the same manner with different statements just to accommodate public opinion or public pressure. I don't think that the leaderships of both parties have any strength to face the American pressure. And no doubt.
Which is a little sad, because if you think about it, the PMLN
pathetic.
stood up to American pressure in 1998 when the nuclear test, and then even prior to that, if I remember the Pressler Amendment, the Brown Amendment, we've been under sanctions before. So why are we so fearful?
Actually, they give a statement, and there are so many things behind whenever we go. And the recent developments in the last 10 years, which took place on the end of the both parties, their dependence on outside Pakistan, their reliance outside Pakistan.
Things like the NRO.
And things are, they have increased. So what I think is that there won't be any difference in the behavior pattern of the both leadership, but I think that this issue, again, my opinion is the same, that it's an international issue, it's related with two countries, and the government should try, that they shouldn't agitate the people to the extent that they get reactionary. And this factor must be in the mind of American government and the people also.
There seems to be no understanding in the American state